boys, parties, style, fame,
She likes
glamour, runway, style, fame.
Charles, welcome to Telecom Stars in Cars. There's no such thing as a free ride, so the cost of this ride is an interview with me. Are you ready?
I'm ready, with pleasure.
So Charles, I've heard that you're a really interesting, cool guy that has done tons of things. Please share a bit more about you.
Okay, well, I have done a few things in my life. So I was originally an American, and I've been a CEO for more than 30 years internationally. I started out with a maritime career and ended up with a U.S. Coast Guard captain's license. Met my wife when I was living in the Caribbean.
Wow.
And followed her to Switzerland. She's Swiss. We were married there, and I went to work for a Swiss multinational for 16 years and was the CEO for their country manager in Singapore, in Malaysia, in New York. I came back to Switzerland in 2002 and became a serial CEO, mostly for venture capital, helping turn around companies in their portfolio, and did that until I decided to transition to my last, what I thought was my last career, was coaching CEOs. And I had clients across Europe, and one of my clients was GMS. And they asked me to join them and help reinforce the team, and I did that with pleasure. I did it a couple of years ago, and so I've spent 8 years in the IoT industry, but now I'm truly in the telecom industry and it's in the messaging industry, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, that's very impressive. I'm not worthy. I feel very privileged to be sitting next to you. I'm sure you have lots of stories you could tell me about all the different things that you've achieved to the different companies. I'm sure you have a lot of stuff to tell me.
There might be a few, but we'll save that for another time.
Yes, another time. You're right. So, Charles, you're in the messaging business, and I work with lots of my customers who are trying to prevent fraud in messaging. Mm-hmm. It's a growing problem. What's the key to addressing fraud in messaging?
Yeah, the key is we have to create trust, and that means we have to provide secure, visible, transparent messages, and that means from end to end, from the enterprise to the operator, that everyone can see it, that they can trust it. It hasn't gone through a gray route. It does go through the authorized channel. It does pay the official prices and termination, which means the costs are a little high. The problem in our industry is that enterprises that don't want to pay such a high termination cost for messages are accepting lower prices from some players in the market that are using unauthorized routes and able to offer lower prices. So the operators, in return, have started asking GMS, who does it the right way, to protect their networks, to put the firewall in, mm-hmm. and do the testing and detect the gray routes and block everything and force it to come through the authorized channel. And then that brings security, visibility, transparency on messages, and that brings trust. And it's really important because enterprises need to be able to trust the message. They need to be able to have confidence that they're going to have a high delivery rate and their end users have a good customer experience.
And I'm sure it helps with monetization because you turn around and monetize your messaging business.
Correct.
Better.
And particularly for the operators.
Mm-hmm.
So the operators want to be able to optimize their revenue in their SMS, international A2P SMS channel. And we're able to do that by making sure that all of the messages being delivered are coming through the authorized channel.
And you mentioned enterprise. There's a lot of growth in A2P, as we know. But a lot of the enterprise, the operators and the carriers are trying mm-hmm. to address enterprise more and more. Do you think that's realistic? Do you think that's something they can do well?
Yes, but that's why they engage companies like GMS as a messaging hub. So the enterprises don't want to be connected with every operator in the world. That's our job. We are connected with just about every operator in the world to be able to deliver their messages. The operators connect with us because we are their direct conduit to the enterprises.
Okay. Now, I like gossips. I like hot gossips. What about GMS? Any cool things you can share with us and the exciting news?
Sure. So 2 years ago when we were at the Mobile World Congress, people thought of us as a smaller regional player. Since then, we've grown about 60% every year.
Wow.
We're coming close to $300 million in revenue this year, close to 400
Impressive.
employees. And most importantly, we're not a regional player, we're global. We have clients in every area of the world.
I like growth stories. I like people who are successful. I think it's good to have positive energy in the industry. We need that. So I'm happy that's happening at GMS. Maybe you have something to do with it?
I would like to think so, but I think I'm the right person at the right time at the right place.
That's always the key. Huh?
Yes.
Charles, thank you so much. It's a lovely interview. I think we have to do this a bit again soon.
Okay.
So you can start telling me all the stories about the different CEO roles that you've had.
I would love to. Thank you very much, Isabelle.
Thank you.